Welcome to Salcedo Paranormal. It is Wednesday, January 11th, 2023, and tonight I'll be covering paranormal news. As always, you can find all of the shows along with links to social media and other ways to contact me at the podcast page, which is salcedoparanormal.podbean.com. That's SALSIDO paranormal.podbean.com. Always happy to hear from you all, whether you have comments or questions or topic suggestions, or stories of paranormal experiences, whether they're your own or from others you trust. Happy to either read those or have you on the show to talk about them. And so just a quick update. Tomorrow I will be reviewing some more of H.P. Lovecraft, The Complete Fiction, and that will close out the week of regular shows. And then we'll see what else I'm able to record within the next week or so as well. There will be at least 2 bonus shows this month, maybe 3. We'll have to see how it goes. So that's the plans. I think with that, I can get to these articles here. I've already included them in the chat, and of course I will include them in the episode description on the podcast and YouTube feed. And of course, thank you all for listening, whether you're here for the live show, I see you all there, or you listen to the podcast or YouTube feeds as well. Really appreciate all the numbers that we've gotten there so far. So, let's see here. All right, I think that covers everything. So now, let me get to the first story here. And this one is from Curiosmos, I think is how you say it. And the title is Ancient Civil. I'm not sorry, ancient. It says alien, not ancient. Alien civilizations are either way behind or way ahead of us. And it goes into some details here about just that idea. It mentions here in the very first part, has a little paragraph that's kind of like, I guess, a summary. It says, if we do not find evidence of alien life, this civilization will either be way behind or way ahead of our scientific knowledge. The change that this potential civilization will... it says change, but I wonder if it means chance. The chance that this potential civilization will meet or match our own technology phase exactly has been calculated to be roughly 1 part in 100 million. Yeah, it says change, but I think they meant chance. So this is just talking about this idea that apparently it seems to make sense in a way, because I wonder, depending on the distance anyway, in terms of where they're at from in the universe compared to here, if they're in a completely different part of a galaxy or part of the galaxy, then, and if they have what we have now that we're aware of, then it would make sense that it would be balanced out. We may not see each other in our at least as of right now. So, and then if they're further behind where humans are at now, then we definitely wouldn't. But if they were ahead, they could decide that they're just not interested. Now, of course, this is not taking into account anything that people have experienced directly anyway, and based on the title here. But still, just in terms of the idea itself, I thought it was a sort of a valid point there that they made with just the title of this article here. And this it goes into other ideas that are I don't really feel comfortable trying to explain here. But and so good article to check out for yourselves and read and see what else they say. So just wanted to share that because I thought the article summed itself up very well just in the title. So it's the first one for today. I like doing these articles based on about ideas sometimes, just as much as I like doing the actual reports of sightings and locations. I think they're important, and I think they're that's part of the fun of doing this is thinking about these different possibilities. So, moving on to the next one here. This one is from quite the name for a website, Bungalow. So it's bungalow, the word, and then ER. So, but just as one word. Um, and the title of this one is Orlando Man Reports Seeing UFO on Colonial Drive. Now, this is actually just a witness report. There's no pictures. They didn't get to take any pictures of what they saw. But this started out as a sighting of a sphere-shaped object. But and it was as they were driving on a road in Orlando on December 9th of 2022. And it basically did a few strange things. Even after it was seen. So let me see here, as I have Logan here trying to distract me. But so it says that it describes what it was doing. It mentions that it was in the sky and it was a spherical, shiny object. About 2 seconds after that, it vanished, and then it reappeared in a different area within a few seconds. The two men were both watching as much as they could while the one was driving, and they were both explaining what they were seeing to each other because they just couldn't figure out what they were looking at. After about 4 seconds of reappearing, it split into two separate objects. And it says the best the witness can describe what happened next was it was as if someone were eating noodles from a bowl. It said the objects completely, so that's the only description. So I guess as if they went down. I don't know. They don't really go into other detail from there. But it says the objects completely disappeared, going faster than anything the witnesses have ever seen before. There was nothing after that for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then it reappeared near them again, and it was apparently it's a sphere again, and it was almost on its side, almost appearing like a saucer, and then it vanished again, and then showed up again a short time later, and it did this several times. And then it disappeared. So, just an amazing sighting of something that just it seems really odd. There was no smoke reported anywhere near the object that was seen. And so, yeah, wow, Logan is like really being persistent. She's actually like stepping onto my shoulder with her front paws. She normally doesn't do that. But anyway, so yeah, just an amazing sighting here of something that, if it's a drone or any kind of drones, that's some fancy work right there that's being done. And then vanishing and reappearing. Pretty sure regular drones can't do that. So, I don't know if you're there or not, but yeah, I'm just giving Logan some attention real quick while I'm here. But yeah, I mean, that's not just a usual triangle or saucer-shaped thing that just appears and disappears. It sounds like it broke up into two pieces and then appeared whole again. So, really amazing sighting there. So yeah, that's the second article I had for tonight. So I will move on to the next one here. And it's a mix of articles here tonight. This next one is from ancient-origins.net. And the title of this one is Magical Mechanics Discovered an 3,000-year-old wishing well. And so this is regarding this whole idea of these wells that objects were thrown into in exchange for favors from any number of sources. Really depends on the area and what the people believe. So this is just apparently something that has been going on. I had no idea. I'd never thought about this for many years. And these wells became, of course, the centers of like town squares and things like that, and they're now still around in some places where you see fountains that people throw coins into. And so they're talking about that as a sort of a magic ritual in a way, which it makes sense in a way. So, but yeah, so they're talking about one of these sites that was discovered in Bavaria, in the so that part of the world, and that where this was apparently being done. Several, let's see here, it said I think 7,000. No, I'm sorry, not 7,000. 3,000-year-old wishing well. This was apparently happening even back then. So it's amazing to see how some things keep going for a long time. The ideas behind them, and so yeah, I thought that was really neat in a way, because it is something that you see even now today. Places that have these ponds or fountains or whatever, where they're people throw coins into them and wishing for good luck or whatever they need or want. So just want to point that out. Again, there's a whole article. Ancient Origins does a really good job with making entire articles based on these things. So yeah, check that out and read all the details there for yourself as well. Make sure that, oops, 1 second. Okay, there we go. I thought that Logan was going to knock over my TV, so I had to make sure that was not going to happen. So anyway, sorry about the distractions here. But so yeah, that's that article here. And I have two more. This is from travelandtourworld.com. And the title of this one is Haunted Sagas of European Castles. And this is another one of those kinds of places that are fairly well known, at the very least in folklore and legend, to be haunted. And you can find stories of people's experiences there if you look around online. That's something I haven't done yet. I need to do that. I need to do a show on castles. So they have several here. I'm just going to scroll through. Let's see here. The first one that I can pronounce here is Windsor Castle in England. And it's still used, of course. It's in Windsor in Berkshire, England. It's just west of London. And this was constructed in the 11th century. So that's wow. That's going back a ways. And so, of course, it says it lived through the English Civil War and 2 world wars. It says that it's almost 1,000 years old. So I guess that construction took a while. But it's said to be one of the most haunted locations in England. Many reports have been given there, including sightings of Henry VIII himself. So there's also an actual, I've heard of this, but I never knew where it was at, Frankenstein Castle in Germany. But apparently it's a hilltop ruin at this point. And it's apparently thought to be the inspiration for Mary Shelley's model for the home of the doctor, Frankenstein, in her novel there. It said that the location has always been surrounded by legends, it actually served at one point as a typical castle. So let me see here. Looking for the stories. So there's a lot of folklore and mythology around the location itself. It doesn't really go into the specific details though on that. So that might just be one where there's more folklore about it than actual reported experiences that can be shared. So, so yeah, there's a bunch of other articles here. I mean, articles. There's a few other castles here mentioned, and I think that may have to be a show at some point. I'll have to do some research into all different haunted castles around the world. I think that could be fun. So just check out that article for the other castles and go from there. So I have one more article left here, and it's regarding the Haunted Hill House. Yeah, that's yeah. There's a lot of places out there that are said to have activity there. I think really almost anywhere does. It's just a matter of if it's reported or not, or if people are always there to see it. So, so this last article, again, it's more talking about an idea or a concept and then some experience here from the writer. But this is from paranormaldailynews.com, which is actually, I don't think I'd ever heard of that site until just recently. I wonder if it's a newer site. But the title is, Can Paranormal Investigators and Psychic Mediums Work Together? And talks about how this can really depend on the people involved, and mentioned some teams won't even consider working with anybody, while there are other teams that do, and it just talks about the dangers of maybe relying completely on what the person that says they're sensitive or a psychic medium says. It's really the best way to do it is to take in all the information from the team and then also from what the person says too. They mentioned this in the article, and I agree with them. I think it's just a matter of taking all the information, all the possible evidence into account, including everything that's found with the technology and with the person who was able to sense all these different things. So, let's see here. Yeah, so this goes into a little more detail about this person's experience, but I just thought it was neat that they brought up this topic, and I do think it can be a good thing. It's just like anything else, you have to go about it the right way and not dismiss whatever the team finds because of what the medium or psychic says, and not do the opposite either. Not just dismiss what the psychic medium says based on what the team finds. Has to be again, just a balance and trying to look at all the possibilities of what's going on there. So yeah, just another article about that, and of course you can all check that out and read it for yourselves too for the rest of the details. So so yeah, I know I kind of just briefly covered all these articles today, but that's kind of what I like to do, is just give a really quick summary of the basic idea behind the article and let you all check them out in greater detail. So that's basically it for tonight. I'll be back tomorrow with more reviews and more story reviews from H.P. Lovecraft, The Complete Fiction, on the next episode of Salcedo Paranormal. Thank you all and have a great night.